Come check out Pierced by Corey inside Good Faith Tattoo Studio, located at 1202 Andrews Highway in Midland, Texas. All month long, she will be offering $31 specials on piercings, but you must be wearing something festive or Halloween related to get it at that price. Hey guys, what's up? So we are back again. This is episode 5, and we have Caitlin Steer with us, Miss Realtor.
Yes, thank you for having me.
So what is going on?
Well,
a lot.
With
that breath,
yes, a lot. I'm just here hanging out today. Yeah, today is actually our reset day on Sunday.
Oh, nice.
So I
always need one of those.
Yeah, just been relaxing with the family, resetting for the week.
Oh man, so what's up for next week? You got full schedule?
Yes, I do. I have 2 buyers appointments. There's lots of buyers in the market right now. Yes, so if you are considering selling your house, let me know. There's lots of buyers. They are all pre-approved.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Which is great when you're going home shopping.
Yeah, for sure. It makes it the whole process easier when they're pre-approved, right?
So it streamlines it, makes it extremely fast, and plus sellers know that you're actually serious by being pre-qualified before going in their home.
For sure.
Absolutely.
So let's go ahead and rewind. Let's go to the beginning. What made you want to do realtor?
Yes. So actually I was in college. I got fresh out of college and I went to the oil field, as most people in this area do.
Of course.
And it actually was not something I was in love with. I didn't like it. I did not like my job, and layoffs were coming around, and I was a single woman at the time, didn't have a family, and the lady who was being considered to be laid off had a family. So I asked my boss, don't lay me off. I'd rather go find another job, if I'm honest. So they laid me off, and I didn't really know what I was doing. I kind of had several jobs that I kind of jumped around, and my mom mentioned real estate to me. And so I went to real estate school while I was managing a little bar here in town called Triple Threat, and I did school during the day and bartended at night, and it was really fun. But I met my husband, and right as soon as I got done with my real estate license, and he was like, look, go do that, jump full force. So I quit my bartending job and started real estate the very next day, and I've never gone back. So how was it uncomfortable switching, like just jobs like that? Absolutely. Or how did you manage that? Absolutely. So my mom did customer service. She was she worked in the cell phone industry, and so I've kind of always been accustomed to customer service jobs. And I worked at Edible Arrangements when I was 16 years old. Yeah, I answered the phones and took orders and that when I was 16. So I've kind of always had that background, and I just thought, what's something that can elevate not only my life, but I can use my skills at, And so when I got into real estate, I realized quickly that I had a lot of interest in helping younger people, but also people who have no idea how to get into a home. I always hear my mom say we're a product of our environment. There's people who their parents have never purchased a home. Their grandparents have never purchased a home. And I started realizing those people were right around me. There were a lot of my friends. There were a lot of my coworkers. And so I thought, you know what? This is a way for me to give back to the people who give to me. And that's kind of what I've always kept in the back of my mind, is that these people are really doing great things for their family, but themselves. I mean, this is their legacy. This is where all their hard-earned money that we always say, what do we have to show for it? This is what we have to show for it,
Exactly.
So that really kept me going.
So back to, where are you located? You're here in Midland?
Yes, I actually service Midland, Odessa. I do Big Spring, Stanton, and then I go to Andrews, and then I'll go to Pecos. I do Pecos mainly for commercial work. There's a lot of oil and gas leases and stuff like that. So, but yeah, I do residential leasing, selling, and I also do commercial as well.
Oh, nice. So you have a whole range of customers.
Yes, ma'am.
That you could provide for. That's cool.
Yes, ma'am.
So what is the most common question you get?
It depends on the type of buyer that I'm working with, to be honest with you. But always the first one is, how's the market? They want to know whose market it is, buyer or seller.
Yeah.
The second thing is, how much does it cost to buy a house? That's like the most frequent question that I get. And it all starts with, honestly, I like to bring people in for a consultation and sit them down and we'll really start discussing their finances. And that way I can pair them up. There's mortgage lenders, there's tons of them, just like there's real estate agents. There's a billion mortgage lenders. And so I like to pair them up with somebody who I feel is a genuine fit for that person, because they're going to be looking at all your finances for the next 60 days or foreseeable future until you purchase a house. So it's important that you trust that person. Also important that you have a good relationship and good rapport with them.
That was my next question. How have you ever had a problem not being able to have a friendship with a client, or how do you manage that?
You know, at the end of the day, if we don't make our friendship out of this, and because yes, I have been referred clients, or I've worked for larger brokerages. I work for a smaller brokerage now, but there's a lot of referrals that go in and out, and so sometimes you don't have any rapport with the person that you're working with. And you know, at the end of the day, this is a business transaction. Like I mentioned, you're very much dealing with somebody's finances, and it's very important to not mess with that. And so just keeping that top of mind is what I always like to go back to.
Just straight business.
Yeah. I mean, I don't like it when I get gypped anywhere, even at a Mexican food restaurant. You know what I mean? I want my money's worth. So.
No, for real. All right. So how do you attract new clients?
So actually, when I first got into the business, I started working for Keller Williams Realty.
Okay.
Love Keller Williams. And they actually taught me, when I went to school, they literally teach you how not to get sued. There's so many laws behind how to, real estate law. And so, I had no idea how to start a business in the very beginning of all of this. And so, now I have a lot of tools that they teach you, but I'm constantly generating new business by, I put out a lot of advertisements. And so anybody who's inquiring on those advertisements, I make sure to get back to them. But I am happy and proud to say that a good majority of my business is referral business. So keeping in touch with my friends and family and past clients is really how I generate new business for myself.
Has social media helped you any with that?
Social media has helped a lot, because I do think that it is a good way for people to communicate with you without it feeling so serious. Like I mentioned, this is a business transaction, and it is scary for a lot of people. So it's an easier way to approach people, I feel like, through social media. Yeah.
That's so true.
Yeah.
And what 3 skills do you consider the most successful for you being successful?
I feel like the first one is just, I'm just hard on this. I have 2 small kids, and I try to teach them. I have a 2-year-old, so what goes in there, but just being honest with your client, good, bad, and ugly. I'm not going to say that every real estate transaction is rainbows and butterflies. There are times where credit gets in the way, or maybe you have, they don't want you to make large purchases during your real estate transaction.
I've heard that.
But God forbid you get into a car wreck, right?
Exactly.
Everybody has to buy a new car. Everybody has, life happen to them.
Life happens,
yeah. You have an unexpected bill that comes out that you need to really pay attention to besides this. So just being truthful with the client, and also making sure that they understand what is going on in the transaction, because understanding where your money is going and how the process works as the client is really helpful to them at the very end of the day, and it makes them appreciate you a little bit more too,
exactly.
Right? So that's that. Second is just communication. That's a really big thing for me. Communication, whether it be over the phone, whether it be text message. It's important that we have a good line of communication. And then lastly, I think that I like to think I'm funny, so that's really helped me.
I'm new to this, but I'm funny, so it doesn't matter.
They don't like me anyways.
That's hilarious. That's always a good one for sure. So, someone starting with the realtor business, what advice would you give them that you learned the hard way?
Yeah, I think that one thing that we all learn the hard way as realtors is that don't be blinded by what everybody else is doing. Stay focused.
Yeah, for sure.
Do what you're doing. And when I tell you that this is such a small community, but there are so many people here, you don't know the same people that I know.
Exactly.
And the people who trust, love, and want to do business with me are not the same people that trust, love, and want to do business with the next
That's
person.
so true.
And so don't ever forget that you do have a village out there, no matter if it feels like it or not, whether they're your friend, family, past coworker, old client, they want to do business with you. So really, like, keep that front of mind and don't be looking at what everybody else does around you.
Yeah, because that does affect your vision. Absolutely. When you pay attention more to everybody else than what you do yourself.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to look at professional athletes and, you know, you're just in the junior league and it's like, it's okay. You're going to get there eventually.
Yeah, for sure. And also, how do you minimize the search for a home? I know you said you like look at their finances and stuff like that. Like, you're able to go ahead and like choose homes for like single family homes, and so you have a variety of everybody. That so how do you minimize like single family homes, like a big old range, just by their finances?
No,
or do you
so it's really neat. So once they've already gone through the pre-qualification process, that's step one. Once that's all figured out and we've already narrowed in what their finances look like, I bring them back into my office and we use a system called a multiple listing service. And so that's where every real estate agent in the city puts all of their listings at. Okay, so I get to see all of those because I pay into that service. What we do is we go down a wants and needs list. So what is it that you need inside of a home? Because I don't want to let you down and say that I'm going to get you 100% of the things that you need, but I really strive to get 80% of those things. So I need to know what's a need in your life and what's more of a want in your life, right? So I want a second living room, but I need a fourth bedroom because I have 4 kids.
Yeah,
right. So like, what is a want versus a need? And we go through that, especially things like school districts, you know, that might be important for some people if they have children, or maybe they need to be close to work, or maybe they want to be close to family members. And so really narrowing down specific areas of town that they're interested in, if there's any, you know, school districts or any other things that they need to be inside of that range, or maybe they don't want to be past, I've heard people say they don't want to live past Andrews Highway. So we look Andrews Highway, you know, whatever their specifics may be. And so that helps minimize, those things help minimize that. And we also get to pair that with the price range. So we can say, okay, here's everything you need in your price range and get that over to them. That multiple listing service is really neat because we can set it up in a way to where we can critique everything that you have, and then it sends it to you on a daily basis or a weekly basis, depending on how eager you are to get into a home.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, so
y'all have y'all's tricks and tips and everything.
It's really nice. Wow. So, and that same email that sends out to you sends out to me, so I can kind of review and say, hey, Monica, I saw this home and it really looks like what you mentioned to me. Should we go check it out? And that way we can get in there first.
So, how long is the process from beginning to end with them being pre-approved to get into a home?
Absolutely. So, from the time we're pre-approved, if we go out and we make an offer, it typically takes anywhere from 5 to 7 days to find your home, if you like what's on the market currently. But once we make an offer and have an accepted offer, it takes anywhere from 45 to 60 days. There are some lenders in town who can do it in 30 days. So, pretty quick process.
Yeah, it is.
It is, actually. I tell people that all the time. They look several years in advance, and I'm like, man, it's just such a fast process that
it is.
If you need to work on things, let's work on things,
and then go ahead and go with the pre-approval.
Absolutely.
Because it makes it doesn't waste your time on waiting on them, and you know what I mean.
You know, and honestly, it doesn't waste their time. By setting up some expectations that we might not be able to meet.
That's so true. That's so true. So personally, you yourself, do you think you've accomplished your I made it moment yet? And when did you realize you had that moment?
You know, I don't really, I always tell people, like, when I get on a billboard, that's when I made it. So I'm not quite there. I'm not to billboard status yet. But I feel like, you know, in the last 5 years, my life has dramatically changed year by year. And so every year I keep seeing like a new I made it moment. And so, you know, when I first got into real estate, I joined a real estate team. And on the real estate team, they kind of teach you, train you. You get to work with experienced agents. And so kind of feels like I had my training wheels on in a sense. And so I've busted out of there, and I feel like I graduated, from the training mills. And so I feel like year by year, I'm more and more. And so this is going to be my second full year as an independent agent.
Oh, wow,
and
good.
I'm just so looking forward to what that has to come.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So tell us a day in your life.
A day in my life. So I'm also a mom of two.
Okay.
I have a 7-month-old.
Oh my God, you got a brand new one.
Yes, and I also have a 2-year-old.
Wow, girl, you're busy.
So yes, day in my life. When we get sleep. No, I'm just kidding. No, we get sleep every day. But in the mornings they go to a Mother's Day Out program.
Okay.
And so I do that. Take them to the school, and then I kind of hit the ground running. I have an office located right behind the baseball stadium there.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, so if you're ever out, come see me. But I typically, if I'm not at my real office, I have a home office as well, and I get started on follow-up calls typically in the morning. Calls or texts, depending on how. And I also am starting to look at the market early in the morning. I do look at the market twice a week, once on Mondays, once on Fridays, just to make sure nothing's closed between then. And then Fridays, I like to give my clients, sellers, an update of any feedback we've had or anything like that. I also do that on Mondays if we've had any weekend activity as well. So depends on the day, but I do some follow-up in the morning time. And then in the afternoons, lunchtime-ish, there's brokers open houses, which means that other agents in town are hosting open houses for agents, not for the public, but for other agents to go to. So
wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and they try to do that to gain feedback, see what other agents think of the home, and also if maybe I have a client who would be a potential fit for that home, I can see it in person. And so I like to see and fill my week with either a training or maybe a broker's open house around lunchtime.
Yeah.
So that's really nice. And then I do all my showings typically in the afternoons to kind of work around people's work schedules. Yes. So that's pretty much what a typical day looks like for me. And then after that, it's kiddo time.
Yeah. Mom time.
We're all over the place after that. Yeah. So that's a pretty standard day. And then weekends, I really like to leave open for either open houses or showings because, like I said, it's easy to accommodate for work around those
for
times.
Sure. So let's go ahead on the social media. Do you have any Instagram pages or anything you want to go ahead and tell the viewers so that way they can search you up?
So on Instagram, I am Closed with Kate MTX, and that's CAIT. And then I also do have a business Facebook page. It's just Caitlin Steer at Momentum Realty. And then I also have a website. So it's just closedwithkatemtx.org. So go check me out.
And what is the address for your office that you had mentioned?
Our address, oh my gosh.
You don't have it.
I don't have it on me right this second. We just moved addresses. Oh, hold on. You got to edit this part. We're going to put you on edit duty now. Oh my gosh. Okay.
It's okay.
So, cut. Okay. So our office, it's located at 801 Tradewinds Boulevard. We're in Suite A.
Okay,
so right behind Sam's Club and the baseball park there.
And if they wanted to text or call you, do you have an office phone number they could Google?
Yeah. You can find me on Google or any of my social media platforms have all my contact info on there.
Well, congratulations. I'm so excited for your future.
Thank you.
It sounds like you have everything organized and planned out, girl.
Trying, yes. I try.
I'm so glad you came.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Out of your day, out of your reset day.
Yes.
And I very much appreciate it. And that's it.
I can't wait to see you in the future.
Yeah, no, for real.
Bye.